Hey everyone, this is Stefan from Lush and Salty Aquariums. Today we're going to talk about a carpeting plant for your aquarium. It's called Monte Carlo and you're looking at it right now. It's lush, it's plush, it's dense. You have to give it a haircut. It's the closest thing to giving a person, or I guess an animal, a haircut. You literally get in there and trim off the top and then take the cuttings out of the tank, and the plant continues to grow. I have some in this tank, which is so lush, as a matter of fact, with plant growth. I really do need to cut it back, but I can't stand doing that. I love overgrown tanks. And this one in particular, I haven't had to deal with my filter in so long. I pulled out the cartridge with the carbon and the floss, and it was white. There was literally no detritus in my filter. I attribute that all to plants, and Monte Carlo is a main reason so many particles of food and fish waste just fall into this carpet and get absorbed by the plant, and I suppose some of the invertebrates that hang out below it. I have Monte Carlo here, and then if we swish pan, the most amazing carpet is in this tank. And why is it even more lush and plush than the other? Because I'm running two lighting systems. Highlight is just a key to this plant. Maybe nothing else contributes as much to getting a carpet versus a mangy bunch of half-dead tendrils than great lighting. However, a super close second, and maybe arguably the main source of killer Monte Carlo, is running CO2. And that's what this is here in this tank, and that's what this is here in this tank. Now you could try to grow Monte Carlo without one or the other, but good luck with that. I've found that there's just simply no comparing a tank without those two items working for you when it comes to Monte Carlo. I have another tank that has Monte Carlo and not CO2, but it has great light, and it's Monte Carlo I started with CO2 and since removed it, and it's doing all right, but it's getting algae on it. Now a lot of my shrimps in that other tank will eat that algae, but you can tell when I remove the CO2, the algae started. In this tank, I don't have a lick of algae, and in this tank, I don't have a lick of algae, and that's because of CO2. Primarily. I also would argue that tons of plants, all different kinds of plants, eliminate algae growth as well. So Monte Carlo, you can buy it as a tissue culture, or you can just get cuttings from somebody like me. Hit me up, come by, I'll give you some. And then you just plant it in the ground, sort of like hair plugs, like you see in the back of Esquire magazine when they try to sell hair plugs to bald guys like me. And you plant it in spaces as dense as you can, and there you go. Eventually it just takes over like that. But I'd hit it hard with light for at least 8 hours, and I'd invest in one of these Fluval CO2 rigs for about $40 at Petco. It might be a little more, depends on the size of the canister, and it is what it is. It's an expense, but look at that plant growth and look at that Monte Carlo. If you love this plant as I do, then go for it, invest in it. I will tell you that once you get this Monte Carlo, all you have to do is give it a haircut. I've seen it in tanks go halfway up the tank, and I guess that's a cool look, but it takes up precious real estate from the fish. If you have any questions about this plant or anything else, feel free to ask. I'd love to help out. And as always, keep your hands in the tank. Thank you.